That's right. It's Lions Talk with Smokin, Jeremy B, and Von Doom. I see we got some early chatters as usual. It's Brent saying good morning, JB and BD. Dwayne Keene saying good morning to all. And Dwayne Keene also saying, let's go, Detroit Lions, one pride. Kings of the North Division Championship. Yes, sir. It's such a great day to be a Lions fan. We're about to kick this off. I just like this groove.
Charles Harris here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Meat Cat Bodies by Jeremy Smokkin.
Good morning and welcome to Lions Talk with Smokin' Jeremy B. That's me and Von Doom, the Savage Leonard.
Look at all these comments in the chat already. Let's go.
Yeah, Ricky Sakat's in here, Dwayne Keene, Brent. They're having a nice little conversation while the intro plays, and I love it. Speaking of Charles Harris, is he still a Lion and will he remain one? He is actually an unrestricted free agent this year. So unless we re-sign him, no, he's not. And in all actuality, when you look at our free agent signings and when we sign them and how they impacted this team, there's only three that did anything. 2021, it was Charles Harris having his best season of his career. That's why he got that 2-year contract, and now it's done. John Comiskey had a great year. Even though he missed some games in the middle, overall, for what he produced on the field, he earned that two-year contract. But last year, he didn't hold up what he earned. So therefore, it's they be the next acts to go. And with the extra 19 million, they may not have to restructure anybody to clear more cap. And remember, that's the bottom line. I like announcing the bottom line. I don't like being a homer and saying, "Oh, we could have 250." I don't like doing that. I don't like getting our hopes too high. I like being realistic. Until they announce exactly what it is, I'm going to leave it at the amount for the lower amount that they confirmed it's going to be. That 6 million is just a bonus if it happens. Do you agree with that, Von Doom?
I 100% agree with that.
Because we've seen it before where they say, "Oh, it might go up more," and it didn't. So Emmanuel Mosley is an unrestricted free agent. He just has a little bit of it. When they signed him, they moved his money down the road, like 3 million of it spread out over the next couple of years. Don't care, don't want him back.
Goodbye,
Unless
Glasgow.
he has been a glass show. Unless he's going to sign for 1.5 million as a prove it deal to come back for 1 year, I don't want him. At 1.5, yes. Where are we at? 50 million overall? No, it's closer to 40. The overall cap right now will be at 244. Take off the 18 million. That leaves us right around 36 to 40 million in cap space. Smoking Dad. Hey, hey, hey. Glad to see you in here, Dad. Let's get this started. I already sent out the topics. Now I just got to go back to where I sent it so I can get to it.
Okay, before you get into your topics, I want to ask if you've heard about this yet.
What's
Have
that?
you heard about EA Sports offering 11,000 college football players $600 each for video game NIL rights?
Actually, the initial offer that got shot down that they offered these kids Oh,
was
thank
peanuts.
you very much, Ricky. We appreciate you. I love it. Speaking of which, if anybody else wants to donate, it'll actually be on the ticker here. It's there. Um, I got to use that to get a better audio cable. My audio cable has a short in it, so I'm going to get one of the higher quality braided ones, so I don't have to worry about that. We won't be able to use the phone in line today. It's got issues, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it have sound quality issues. I liked it the first day when it was clear, and it hasn't been ever since. You noticed that yesterday too, didn't you, Von Doom?
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, it just got super staticky. I was like, yeah, I can't do that. So that'll be fixed as of tomorrow, because tomorrow's my 2-day show anyways. It's Friday, like I always do, one in the morning and one at 9:30 p.m. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ricky, for the donation. Uh, I picked up my second sponsor last night. It is the place where I work because I have actually promoted it on here for free. And my owner actually noticed. He goes, "Haven't you sold like 7 sets of brand new since you've gotten to management?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "And they've all watched your podcast, right?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, what kind of deal you made me?" I made him a deal. He took it. He paid half now. He's paying half later. When people say 7 sets don't sound like amount of money, guess what? 7 sets total cash that I've earned for that. You know what? They talk about every Lions player being dirty, and it is what it is. We're going to hear that crap every year ever since Ndamukong Suh.
No, Ndamukong Suh was fucking dirty.
I understand, but the talk has continued ever since him, is what I'm saying, about Lions players being dirty. I know it talks about Jones from the Chiefs, but I don't see him coming because he want big money, and Brad and Dan don't break the bank on one player. Yeah, they've talked about it. They didn't say they wouldn't. The exact words was, "We don't break the bank unless it's a culture fit." Yeah, he called him during the 33rd podcast with Amon Ra and his brother EQ, who's a free agent right now. And they also asked Justin Fields why he unfollowed the Bears. He goes, "Man, I'm going on vacation and my whole feed is nothing but football. I want to have a vacation and not think about football." And that to me makes perfect sense. I said that might be the case. I like it. Oh, let's see. Kid out of Arkansas, Dwight McLaughlin, CB, 6'2", 190 pounds. Passes defended 23, forced fumbles 4. CT 113, tackles for loss 10, interceptions 8, and a third round guy. I don't mind it. Um, but at the same time, everybody keeps saying this. Ennis Rackeshaw is the guy they want for the Lions. And I was like, oof. In college, he gave up the exact same QBR against that Cam Sutton gave up last year, which is 96.7. I don't want another Cam Sutton. We got one. We don't need a second one. Granted, he could develop into something better, but I'm not taking a developing player in the first round. Not not at cornerback. As a matter of fact, if you look, the hit rates on cornerback are way higher in the second, third, and fourth rounds than they ever are in the first round.
Dude, my issue with the quarterback position here, you guys run this stupid ass zone coverage. So usually the guys that are fit for zone are a little slower. They have a little freaking less fluidity in their hips. So then your talented guys like Jeffersons and Jamar Chases and Tyreek Hills are just going to burn them all day. That's why it's like hard to find a guy that's like that perfect in between, like a Patrick Surtain, that kind of player that could do them both great.
Dean Bean, Cam Sutton, trash. We need a stronger player for sure. And that's why I don't see Ennis Rackeshaw as that guy. In his 3 years, he has almost a guy out of Raw Podcast has this guy. He does hidden gems. I like that. I like the hidden gems guys. I love looking for those players. It's just like later on in the draft, in the 3rd round, that James Mitchell, who's listed as a linebacker on some of these mocks, he's not a linebacker. He played linebacker at the Senior Bowl for the first time in his career.
Williams.
David Anderson, that was James Williams said. David Anderson, that is ranting Q. If you haven't checked him out, go on YouTube, look him up. I believe he's on TikTok and Instagram also. Go ahead and look him up. He's a good guy, nice podcaster. Cam Sutton would be a fine 2 like he was for Pittsburgh. He's not a CB1. He was CB1 because the guy we wanted to be CB1 is more fragile than Aaron Rodgers. He only lasted 2 plays. Rodgers lasted 4. But franchise tags coming up, and the list of the people, according to NFL Network, that could or should be tagged is out. And I'm going to list them. From the top is Jaguars Josh Allen, Cardinals Bubba Baker, Panthers Brian Burns, Ravens Gus Edwards. There's a few Ravens on there because they can do it anything. Bengals T Higgins, Chiefs Chris Jones, Ravens Justin Matabuke, Giants Xavier McKinney,
Fucking stupid
Colts,
Giants don't
Michael
appreciate
Pittman,
them.
Ravens Patrick McQueen, Chiefs L'Jarius Sneed, and that's probably who they tagged because remember what happened last year. They tagged Chris Jones. He sat out until he got a contract for the year. He's looking for a bag. I don't think he does. They said Ravens Geno Stone. I think it's going to be Matabuke myself. Buccaneers Devin White, and Buccaneers Antoine Winfield. Out of those two, Antoine Winfield makes more sense because Devin White is just a little bit better version of Devin Bush.
They already said they're tagging Winfield.
That's what I thought.
They didn't
I thought
officially do it, but that's who they're tagging.
Right. That was what I heard. Jeremy, my top edge prospect and CB prospect in the draft. For fit, I think it's Chop Robinson out of Penn State. Whether he falls there or not, it's another story. The top QB prospect in the draft technically is Kool-Aid McKinstry, but he's a press man corner primarily. I think the best one that fits our scheme is Cooper DeJean, or DeJean, however you say it.
Cooper DeJean.
Because he's fast enough. He may not have the change of direction that you like, but he also can return kicks and punts. So many say we should get a CB in the first round. I'm just not into seeing us do that. Same other guy had us using our 3rd round pick to move up and get Kool-Aid. LOL, what a joke. It may not be a joke. Brad Holmes has moved up in the I'm not going to be against it. And if he moves up to 15 to grab Kool-Aid, and I wouldn't want to go much further than that because the trade value gets way askewed and you got to give up too much. If you could get rid of what receiver do I want if Reynolds or DPJ don't come back in this draft? Johnny Wilson. 6'6", 227, could be a mid to late 3rd round pick. Supposed to run a 4.5 or faster 40. Tall contested catch guy, has a decent slant and mid route tree, which falls into what we have as a QB's strength.
Jawan Jennings in free agency.
I don't think he hits free agency. I think they're going to re-sign him. Brendan Rice would be great, but I don't think he's going to fall as far as people think after the combine. I don't see wanting to take a guy in the first 2 rounds. In the first 2 rounds, it's got to be defense, in my opinion. That's our biggest holes. Unless a perfect guard falls there. Super BB. In the 2nd round.
Do you know like half the country's without cell phone service right now?
Okay, Darby from the one Funky Lions fan. Darby, the CB from the Ravens, and Allen, interior O lineman from the Rams, are 2 guys I want in free agency. So But that is the list of who should be tagged or could be tagged. And the reason why there's multiple ones for different teams is because it really depends on the tag amount and who they want to tag. That's why they spread it out over all those players. But that's per NFL Network.
Allen. I'm not familiar with him. I need to look this up real quick. Give me a second.
Interior O-line on the Rams.
Yeah.
Going to become a free agent.
Sorry. Offensive line.
Oh, Brian Allen.
Oh, the center. The one they cut?
We don't have to get a center right now. We all we got to do is re-sign Graham Glasgow. Any research on Latu? Yeah, he's got an injury list almost as long as Michael Penix, and I don't think he'll last long in the NFL. And I just don't see him having a long career. My question is, if we add some help on the D-line and get constant pressure on the QB, would our DBs still be under constant attack? Or are these DBs just that bad? Sutton, Jacobs, and Vildor mainly. Vildor was a practice squad guy that couldn't crack the roster for the Bears, who only won 7 games. So, and he made our roster because Jacobs started playing that bad towards the end of the season. But a lot of it has to do with not being as aggressive as we should have been in the front 7, because all of them played. Even though they gave up a ton of yards, they played better. And Vildor could be on the practice squad, 100%.
Wasn't Vildor signed off the Bears practice squad like mid-season too?
Mm-hmm.
And he got tossed right into that starting lineup. So for what he was and when he came in, I think he did fine.
He just wasn't expected. He shouldn't have been no more than Cam Sutton should have been a 1. He shouldn't have been a 2. We need a
What do you
free
think about
agent.
Kevin Ziegler?
Kevin Ziegler, guard.
Kevin Ziegler,
Oh,
guard, yeah, the one that played for the Ravens this year. Granted, he's
yeah.
like 33 years old, but he still hasn't shown a fucking drop in production at all.
Well, speaking of guards, let's go into my question. Who are you wanting to resign? Jonah Jackson, who made an All-Pro, or Graham Glasgow, who actually has the versatility to play center if Ragnow goes done?
On those two, I'm going to take Glasgow. There's no way in hell I'm re-signing Jonah. I don't know how the hell he was an All-Pro because he's not.
No, I mean
The
Pro
only
Bowler.
thing he has is his age. Pro Bowl bullshit, man. It's a joke. The only thing he has on Glasgow would be age, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's 4 years younger. I think he's 26 or 27, whereas Glasgow's 31. I'm resigning Glasgow myself. The versatility alone that he can play either guard position and center is huge and he's our starting right guard right now because Big V's gone. Hallelujah. Do I think his neck is okay? Whose neck is that? Ragnow's? When you say, do you think his neck is okay? I have no idea who it is. When you don't say who the player is. Oh, Latu. Right. Pro Bowls lost all credibility when fan voting was a thing. Pro Bowls lost all validity when it became a flag football game.
Dude, he said he wanted to go back.
If you remember the interview when he left and got signed by the Denver Broncos, he was pissed that Quinn never even called him about an extension. And he signed for the Denver Broncos. I think it was for $1 million less than we signed Vitae. Oh, that was a great signing, wasn't it? We know how many games he played.
Yep. Okay, let me ask you now. So if you re-sign Glasgow, you let Jonah walk, Big V walks, you need a starting left guard, right? Ezra Cleveland from the Jaguars.
Yeah, if he ends up being let go and not re-signed, that's a great pickup. I like him because he's about the same age as Jonah, if I remember right. That 25 to 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Played at an all-pro level. Played at an all-pro level his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take Ezra Cleveland. That's a wonderful grab. And he's worth every penny that Jonah's going to want just as a Pro Bowler. Oh, the kid out of UCLA, his neck, Latu. It's supposed to be okay, but he's had way more injuries than just that. It's not one injury. If it was one injury that he was just recovering from, that's a different story. That's like saying somebody wants to draft Michael Penix, who has an injury list longer than Carson Strong.
That's rough. Carson Strong's got the knees of a 90-year-old.
And Penix has the body of one.
I get that too. But also about the guy's neck, man. I'm not going to take a player that has a history of any neck injury, because taking from somebody that's broken his neck, you do not do anything the same after. Everything you do is going to be cautious. So he's not going to be the same player he was.
I like how Awasika's going to be here. He's a exclusive restricted free agent. He doesn't go anywhere. He stays here.
You got to be careful with that guy's name if Aaron Rodgers is around. It's kind of close to his favorite thing of choice.
Jeremy, if I remember right, we talked about possibly drafting Ezra Cleveland back when he came into the league. Cleveland would be a next pick. Yes, we did. He was one of those guys that was a tweener between the first and second round. And I said if it was day 2, hey, Ricky, I'm just a manager at a tire shop. I have about as much as that stuff as you say there. No offense to Penix. Michigan was a pro style defense, and he was not ready. I don't think his ceiling is as high as people think, and I'm just a janitor. What do I know? The best one that we could grab in the second round for me is Cooper Beebe. The guy plays both guard positions, both tackle positions. The only position he does not play on the O line is center.
I honestly think he's going to go late in the first, though. You might have to grab him at 29.
And, let's say all the good corner prospects that are first round picks are gone, all the edge prospects are gone. It wouldn't be a bad grab there to grab either him or Graham Barton. Either one. Graham Barton plays both guard positions and center, and Cooper Beebe plays everything else on the O line but center. Either one of those guys, I'd be happy with at 29 if everybody else is gone. But at the same time, don't think we draft at 29 because of something Brad Holmes said.
Hang on a second real quick. One funky line over here. Yes, Cleveland's a little expensive. The market value on him is $13 million.
Which is what versatility is everything. Yeah, I mean, either one of those two are very versatile. You know what I mean? If you can play either guard position plus center with the one guard, or you can play both guard positions and both tackle positions, I'm taking Beebe. There's way more versatility there.
Or Jackson Johnson,
who's a center strictly,
but can play guard. I was looking into him last night a bunch.
He can play guard. That's what he did in high school, but he's played exclusively center in college.
Hey, you just said high school, man. So I just want to point out that Penei Sewell played right tackle in high school.
But he also played his first year of college at right tackle.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't fit the narrative here. It don't count.
At first round, I would be happy with any of the O linemen, DTs, or edge. Zinter is a guard, and he's strictly a guard. He's not a center. He's not a tackle. He is strictly a guard. But if he's there, doesn't count. Ricky laughed at you too. So the call-in line will be back up and running tomorrow. I just didn't like the way it was staticky last night when we did try to get the one call in and I couldn't even answer it. Ref Williams of RW Media, he's my resident Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He says, hello, guys. Glad to see you in the chat. Life, I'm going to say something real quick before I get into any more about Graham Glasgow and draft process. Life doesn't always go as planned. Life isn't easy, or it wouldn't be a 4-letter word like all the other bad 4-letter words out there, like work. So no matter what day you have, if you wake up to see the day, that's a blessing. Because even though the road you travel on is rough and there may be some bad things that happen on the way, it's either a lesson or a blessing, or you'll be doomed to repeat it. Because that's just my outlook on life. So yeah, so if you want to hear about some Pittsburgh sports news and you're interested in hearing that, check out RW Media, Ref Williams RW Media on YouTube. He also has his own radio show. Great guy. And he also joins us on the Fire Up show I do at 8 o'clock on Thursdays with the South Florida Tribune.
Is this another one of these Pennsylvania guys out here?
Yeah. Sure is.
I'll have to jump in on his shit. I like talking Steelers football too. I just like talking football. Fuck it.
Hey, we do. That's why we're here. We are here because we love football. You guys are here because you love football and Lions football for the most part, but every single one of you here love football. Some of you like to talk shit more than actually talk football, which is fine too.
Cousin Jay ain't here. Jay's not here.
Yeah, he only shows up on the night shows anymore. Have you noticed that? He doesn't like getting berated by every Lions fan under the sun.
Fucking guy. I swear to God, one of these days we're gonna come up with like a little teleporter thing for the computer where you just like put your fist through the screen and like punch somebody in the throat. I'm waiting for that day. I'd be like, Cousin Jay, how you doing?
I'm waiting for that to happen too, because I'm going to do it to Matt Patricia. Or as I like to call him, what is it? Matt Patricia. Yeah, no problem, Ralph. You know, you're willing to come in here and support my show. I might as well give you a quick shout out. Scott Morganroth, the South Florida Tribune, a show that I'm on 3 times a week. Wednesdays at 8, Thursdays at 9. Matt Bumtricia, that's good too. I like Patricia though, because it fits. Like it just fits. It's the Quinn Trasher regime. I have a hard time getting on Russ podcasts. I'm too busy that time of day.
It's an odd time, I'll say that, yeah. But I think that's like that mid-afternoon ride home from work kind of thing you listen to.
And that's exactly it. Matt shit Trisha. That works. That works real well too.
You just call him fatty, 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 fat.
Fatty Pat Patra. No, I don't like picking on people for being fat because I was a chubby guy. I lost weight. I know I got friends that have been fat and lost weight too. I hated baseball bat Bobby more than pencil boy. I hear you. I still love our coach, and it's 100% one of the reasons why I created the Facebook page and then the podcast was his initial presser when he was talking about the kneecap biting, and then he went on and somebody asked him about the previous draft year in 2020. He goes, Jeff Okuda, I get it, but you could see that Matt wasn't happy. He wanted someone else. And I think he said on the day before podcast that he wanted either Derek Brown or Isaiah Simmons. And then that pick happened and he rolled his eyes and he just left his dog staring at the computer screen after the first round and walked off camera. You know, he went in the other room, stuck his head in a pillow and cried, is what he did. I hate you, Bob. I'm going to kill you. And then he made up for it by drafting that 5th round bum in the 2nd round, Jelani Tavai. And Dan Campbell literally said, I may or may not have broken my tablet screen or laptop at that draft pick. That was when I knew this is a Detroit guy. I mean, I always knew Dan Campbell from Detroit because he played here, and he played here in the worst possible year to actually play for Detroit. Yeah, but when you ask Matty Patty to turn around, it takes him 20 minutes. As the stomach turns.
What I don't understand is that Matt Patricia is probably the most intelligent coach in the entire league. How the hell he can't coach baffles me.
Yeah. David DeFalco. So tagging an offensive lineman is $19.3 million. It's not 18. It's 19.3. I got that picture
You
here
got
too.
to tag either one of them. Jonah's going to walk. Glasgow's going to resign for probably 5 to 6 range because he wants to be there.
Yeah. O-line, 19.7 for the transitional tag and 19.8 for the exclusive tag. So you want to basically take the entire stuff that covers our draft, so we got free agency, and put it into one player, other than a CB. Giant Kapler. Unfortunately, John, the phone line's down for a day. I'll have it back up tomorrow because I know you said you wanted to call in today. That's why the number's not on the screen. Patricia wanted Brown, the scouts wanted Simmons, and Bobby took Okuda. I got called a hater because I said it was a horrible pick and was told I don't know football by so many people. It's because everybody hyped him up to be the third best player in that draft. And Bob Quinn, when he didn't know what to do, he always did BPA.
You know what? Okuda probably could have been a great cornerback if he went to the right place. And that's been so many people over the entire history of the draft. You go to the wrong place, don't have the right system in place, and you fail.
100%. He says, all good, brother. I like being in the comments.
Go
I
fuck
had
yourself. He's mine.
He's being re-signed by New York. He won't be a free agent. When the team re-signing period comes up, he'll re-sign. Watch. He got somewhere that let him be a safety, the type of safety he's good at being in the box and in coverage. He did a good job for the Giants. I wanted him to. If I'd have known it would only cost a 6th rounder to get him, I'd have called Alan Park myself and left the voicemail. Oh, a 7th rounder. And I still stand on the fact that Okuda was carried arguably by a top 3 all-time front 7 in college.
Okay.
I have the feeling, Von Doom, I have the feeling they are letting Saquon Barkley walk to get cheaper.
They 100% are. He wants 13 plus. We don't want to offer him that. I think they offered him the top 11 a year. But man, John's gonna say, why re-sign with garbage? Come here, motherfucker. When was the last time y'all were in the Super Bowl?
Shush.
Enough said.
It wasn't called the Super Bowl then. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. 90% of the people in this chat weren't alive.
Except for my dad.
Exactly.
Look at Swift. He played great for the Eagles, but we couldn't. You guys say he played great? He had 4 touchdowns in the regular season. Gibbs was better. Ernest Rakashaw, the guy with the worst QBR? Yeah, let's take him. Let's take him.
He would fit the Lions culture.
Yeah, of being a sucky defender versus QBs and gives up a ton of yards. That's great.
John, when was the last time the Lions were good consistently? You guys had what, 5 wins last year? 6 wins?
No, we had 9
made the
last year.
playoffs last year. Same bullshit. You can't go back and forth with that because at the end of the day, the Giants have been more relevant than Detroit forever. Just because we suck right now, we're hot garbage with the broken quarterback and dipshit for a GM and a dipshit for an owner, doesn't mean the franchise is bad.
Yeah, it kind of does. Come on, you just described Willie Clay Ford and every GM we had until we got to Brad Holmes.
Like no bullshit. When Wellington Mara died, the team started to go downhill because John Mara is a fucking dipshit. Like he's just
I
dumb. He wants to be all liked in the public, but he has no freaking football brain.
know. I just when you said that, I was like, wait a minute. You just described the Lions culture for the last 30 years.
I did that on purpose, though.
But Ennis Rackeshaw, I think, is probably the prospect that shouldn't even go in the first round. I think he should go in the second or third and get a chance to develop. I thought Vine Doom was a Lions fan. He is a Giants fan at heart. I brought him in because it gives that outside fan. No, I'm the bad guy. That's the past. We aren't the Bears. We don't focus and brag about the past. So I'm a talk. Lions, Giants. Ooh, Swift had two real nice games. Both of those, the O line made it, so he wasn't touched at all. But 40 yards out of his 300. Swift was meh the rest of the year. Absolutely one funky Lions fans. He was great early in the year and then disappeared. It's something I predicted. I said he's going to have those 2 or 3 games where every Lions fan going, "See, we shouldn't have traded Swift," but he would not have as good of a year as Gibbs, and he didn't.
No. And I like the Giants. They're my primary team. Some roundabout shit happened a couple of years back where I got into this group with Lions fans, and we just click. I like the team, but I don't know, man. And I love talking football.
You mean the Titans former Lions defensive line coach we just signed, Terrell Williams? He is known for stunting and creating pressures out of nothing with average to okay talent on the D line. Name me one D line player that's fantastic on the Titans right now, and I mean
Jeffrey
absolutely
Simmons.
fantastic. That's about it, right? That's it.
Who wins Giants Lions about right now?
It would be the Lions by a long shot.
Where are we playing? Hang on, let's ask. And is it raining?
Doesn't matter. We played in your house and beat you in the rain the year before when you went to the playoffs.
Yeah, but Gibbs wouldn't be shit there in the rain.
But Monty's still here.
That's fine. We can stop the run in the middle. It's the outside stuff we can't stop. We can't stop speed. The rain fixes that.
Autry, the kicker?
No, Danico Autry, the other end.
I like him, but I just don't want to pay a lot for. I don't really want to pay a lot for. He's mid talent, really. Autry, he's good. He's not great. Jeffrey Simmons being next to him makes it so Autry's good. You took Jeffrey Simmons off that team, they wouldn't have a pass rush. It was the same last year for the Lions. You take Hutchins out of that roster, we don't get half the shit we get.
I got one for you. The Titans are in cap hell. Trade them your first round pick for Jeffrey Simmons.
If
He
they
can play
take
D
it,
tackle and the end.
I know he's basically a better version of Josh Pascal and a veteran.
A lot better version.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying he's that type of player. Is all I'm saying. You've even seen him drift because they run that weird 4-3-3-4 hybrid that they run with the Titans. You've seen him drift them all the way out in the 3-man front to an outside linebacker before. We win at home or on the road, so you pick. We ain't the same old Lions, man, and hoping our roster improves.
Man, it had nothing to do with the same old Lions, man. It had to do with the Giants having the worst playing field in the history of football.
If it's after the 5th round, whether it's the 6th or the 7th, the best kicker in college football is Joshua Carty out of Stanford. 96% accurate under 50 yards, 84% accurate over 50 yards with the longest 61. The next best one is Harold Mevis out of Missouri. And the only reason why I say that is Harold Mevis actually kicked his team to wins because the offense was so bad. Yeah, I think AJ Empineza is the perfect target in free agency. He's a 3-down player. He's not the best pass rusher. He's not the best run defender, but he does all of them good. And then that
His
way you
pass
can
rush picked up over the year, though.
It did pick up over the year because the interior D-line started playing better once Ed Oliver wasn't injured.
Everybody talks so much shit on that guy. Ed Oliver is a fucking dog.
I think, yeah, I want either one. If it's Cardi, great. If he's gone, Mevis. That's one of the two kickers I would take in the draft. Will we take him in the draft? We don't know because we have Dan the Gambler Campbell as a coach. Just saying.
Exactly. Because what he just said means I get to say this now. You don't need a fucking kicker because he doesn't use them. Don't waste the roster spot. Get yourself a backup quarterback or backup offensive line. Just put him on the roster as kicker.
So let me ask you guys this. We got CJGJ for $6 million. He turned down 13 with the Eagles. He's going to want to get paid eventually. Would you want to give him around 10 million, or would you rather get Geno Stone if they don't tag him from the Ravens?
If I had to take one of the two, I'd probably still take CJGJ. Geno Stone hasn't been a starter really most of his career. Had one really decent year, and he's going to want to get paid too. But if that safety spot, I'm going to take Xavier McKinney over both of them all day and twice on Sunday.
Or down Dan. Paul Jones says CJGJ. I don't want him back. I the way he talked as much crap as he did and didn't back it up as much on the field as he should have, and had very costly penalties that led. Would CJ settle for 9.5 million? Probably not. And don't forget, we still are paying him additional money this year, even though he's a free agent.
What second-tier defensive tackle are you talking about, though?
I just think we should get a second-round defensive tackle, an actual DT2 in the draft. I don't even know if I want to add a free agent D tackle because of the money. Yeah, he played 5 games, including the playoffs. He played 1.5 games to start the season, the last game and a half at the end of the season, and those 3.
Sebastian Joseph Day, right there.
Is that your mid-tier defensive tackle you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I still think they made the mistake not signing. Yeah, you could say no excuses, but they don't. For some reason, they don't start him. Until they do, I'm not going to expect them to start. That's an AG thing.
Yeah, what it is. Ricky, yeah, he's a locker room leader. He rallies the guys. But if you're going to have a mouth that's that fucking big, you better back it up somewhere. And if you're going to be a space cadet and take dirty hits, they better be good dirty hits.
Like, take the player out of the game and get your fine.
Exactly.
What do we think about a fullback? They're willing to put anybody on the roster back there.
Yeah, there's no point to have a fullback position on your team because it's so rarely used. Anybody can fill that role.
Guys I like at DT is like Braden Fiskey out of Florida and Tavondre Sweat out of Texas. They're actual DT2s. I love the fact of getting them because they're not going to fight with a lean to get the DT1. Jeremy's our fullback, lol. I mean, seriously, we played Malcolm Rodriguez, James Mitchell, and Jason Kabinda at fullback. The last time we had a real fullback was Michael Burton. If we wanted a actual fullback, we should have drafted that Hunter Lepesky last year out of South Dakota State.
How about Kabinda saying on Twitter he wants to be back with the Lions? He has unfinished business. What kind of unfinished business do you have? Suck some more money out of the team for do absolutely nothing?
and be injured.
I'd kill the practice squad player.
Fullbacks are starting to be outdated, but we still use them in this roster. Fiske is also a Michigan native as well, and he's pretty good. I wouldn't mind him at all. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy that plays for South Dakota State this year. Their fullbacks are always good and almost run as fast as a halfback. And there's a pair of twins that is out of South Dakota State this year that could be late 7th round gems at wide receiver. Jack and Jason Madison or Janke. Jackson and Jason Janke from Madison, South Dakota. These kids are both 6'3", 220 plus pounds, and both of them are expected to run like 4.40s. And they're
I know who to
twins.
ask about them.
Yeah, Brendan Cook.
Yeah, exactly.
Cook.
I think he's at work right now. Yeah, I see what he's saying here with the fullback league wide being replaced by the tight ends. The only team that really uses the fullback anymore is the 49ers.
And Ravens.
Yeah, but their fullback's usually a second running back.
No, it's Patrick Ricard, the 300-pound offensive tackle that's a fullback now.
Yeah.
Who runs as fast as almost the average fullback at a 4.6. How can you be that big and that fast?
How can DK be as big as he is and as fast as he is and still run like an old man with got to take a poop power walking?
Because look at his dad, Eric Metcalf. That's how.
I always used to joke about it.
Oh, Rankins was the guy I wanted last year. I said he'd be huge and a great fit. I almost think he gets re-signed with the Texans because he transformed the interior D-line of that D-line. I said he was the guy I wanted. I wanted a mid-tier guy that would be around $5 million a year, and that was the guy.
I don't think he's going to leave there anyway, just because they got a whole new culture being built down there, and he's a great fit for it.
No, a fullback is never a third-round pick. They're a day 3 pick all day, like round 6, round 7. If we trade back and get a buttload of mid-round to late-round picks with 1 second-rounder, and we have those extra picks, 100%, I would take one in the 6th or 7th round. I don't understand why we got rid of him. Yep, Justin Jefferson says he's going to reset the market. He wants 30+ million. That's why we got to get this with Amon-Ra right now. And the only thing that's holding that up, guys, is the years of the contract. That's it. The money's right. 25 million is right for a wide receiver of Amon-Ra's caliber, no matter what anybody says.
I'm going to blatantly go out there and say this. $80 million for anybody that gets to go play a child game that you fucking love is bullshit.
I understand that, but the money keeps going up, so the roster spots don't. That's how the market gets set. And Paul Jones agrees.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be like basketball with their percentage of the cap and that they have.
So as soon as they figure out how long it's going to be, that's what we'll do. Well, right now it's time to talk about sponsors, and I've gone from 1 fake one and 1 real one to 1 fake one and 2 real ones now, guys. Let's go. First off, our favorite sponsor. It's FTP. Put it in the chat. What does it stand for, everybody? Come on, Dan. You know.
Forgot the toilet paper, feed the
No.
pigeons, and fuck the Packers.
There we go. Because to the rest of the division, because you didn't win it, guess what? Much butter. I sent them you. Cry like bitch you should. But let me give a shout out to my sponsors who actually pay the bills. It's Brandon's Tire Service right here at the corner of Grand Traverse and Atherton, 602 West Atherton Road. Stop in. Great prices on used tires and excellent prices on new tires too. Stop in. Let us know if you're buying a set. We'll knock 10 bucks off. Just mention my name, Smokin' Jeremy B.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead. Let her rip. Go ahead.
Ricky, it was free the pigeons because the only other FTP that popped in my head was fuck the police, and I didn't want to throw that out there.
Free the pigeons. Free the puppies.
Like the old school WWE, Jerry Lawler freaking out wanting to see the titties.
Yes, free the puppies. Late round wide receiver prospect out of North Carolina, Bryson Nesbitt, 6'5", 235, and has experience returning kicks. Yeah, but we still have yet. Calm down there, Jerry. I mean, Jeremy. There's a nice wrestling reference right there. And the other sponsor is Gloss Negron, the best window tinter in Saginaw. Give him a call, 989-443-9240. Check him out. He does auto detailing as well as window tinting, but he was voted the best window tinter in Saginaw and the Tri-Cities by his peers as well as his customers. What a great
Maybe
time
the best
talking.
window tinter in the world.
Could be. You never know. Flick the
Oh
pickles.
my God, Paul Jones, that's horrible. No. Ow. No. What's
It's
wrong
funny
with you,
though.
dude? All I'm thinking is Blake. Fuck.
Unless their name is Richard Head. Man, what a great day. Thanks for everybody in the chat. I'd go through and name you all, but there's too many to list. I mean, Ricky Scott, thank you again for your donation. 376 subscribers for us on our channel, which is Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. 630 on Football Talk 365. Into some of the greatest Detroit Lions pages on Facebook, such as the Motor City Kneecap Biters, the Lions Villain Squad, Detroit Lions on the Prowl, and also into a now NFL page, the NFL News and Rumors page on Facebook. You also see us on Twitter at Smokin' Jeremy B, and you can also see us on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. That's how we get it out here. Love the interaction. Love you guys. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts with continuing. Much love. Have a great night, everybody. Let's have a little mood music as we leave.
Bears suck.
Like
The Bears suck. The Bears suck. Fuck the pack. I'm putting words to this, Jimmy.
free the puppies. Just for Paul Jones.
Yep.
That's right, Ricky. It's always an FTP day here. And tomorrow is FYF Friday. I may not have my shirt by then, but it's still that type of Friday, and y'all, all the opposing teams are going to find out exactly what that means on the 9:30 p.m. Friday show, Lions Fan Cave. It's time to get down. It's time to be nasty. 'Cause I'm sick of hearing it. Have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned to your